One way to start.
The defenders that have performed at VVD's level is Rio, John Terry, and Vidic.
I mean, how long are we going to act like this guy's a top striker, man?
Champions League final.
We got to the Champions League final and lost to Liverpool. I've accepted
You're
that
cool
and
with
moved on.
Worst week ever as a Spurs fan.
I think the most pertinent issue that we can discuss, and I've said that I'm not.
Guy loves a big word of that.
That's the dumbest thing you've said on this podcast.
Cool
You
with
just
that.
said
I was about to say, I'm
Spurs
cool
are
with
in
that.
turmoil. You know you want to say it.
listen.
Don't let him press it.
Get 20% off all Manscaped products plus free shipping with the promo code STTV.
All right, boom. Welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time TV. This time we're actually live in the flesh, live and direct in effect. That actually feels a bit weird because it is actually live. I know it was there. But listen, if you're here, make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you go and message your friends, tell them we're in here. Premier League season is done officially. What a year it's been. But before we get into any of that, this show is presented by Manscaped. 20% off, like the intro said. Make sure you go and get that for yourself. Summer's coming. Smell nice. Be well groomed. Look after yourself. Be ready. I know the weather right now is a bit higgy, but the heat wave's going to come. Don't let the babes be seeing you smell musty. Nah, none of that. And without further ado, hold tight, the 3-point collectors. Move him. Hold tight, the participants. Hold tight, the Champions League qualifiers.
Yeah.
Hold tight,
Champions League qualifiers. Come on.
hold tight, Europa League qualifiers.
Yeah. Shout out West Ham.
Hold tight, the first entrance to the Conference League qualifiers.
Come on. Come on, clap for yourself, man. You lot have made history. What the hell are you doing, man?
We could be the first people to win this trophy ever.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Cool. I mean, the facts are facts,
Bozos.
but
Absolute
listen,
bozos.
there's only one reason we're here today. The Premier League season's over. A lot's happened. There's been some great moments. There's been some rubbish moments, but we're here to kind of go through each team and see, you know, how their season went. We're not going to spend too much time because we haven't got a lot of time here, but we'll break some three things down. And yeah, we'll just, but in general, before we get to the individual teams, how have you guys found this season as a whole? Not your clubs, but just as a whole. I'll be honest, I feel it's been chaotic. I have to be real as well. At times, it felt like there was so much football on that I couldn't consume everything. But this final day was very entertaining. It's probably one of the best final days I've seen in a long time. Probably since the United City final day, where there was the palaver of the last minute, like, yeah, this has probably been the best running I've seen in a while. Even with the last few games, I thought some teams may not want to play for anything, but maybe the fans coming back into the stadiums, it just seemed to give this a different feeling. So all in all, chaotic. We only get 2 weeks, then it's the Euros. Copa America's in there somewhere as well, right? So like, it's just football overload. But that's what have you guys made of this?
Bit underwhelming for me. I think the lack of title race, I think the lack of fans definitely played a part. I mean, a lot of the teams I felt like were just falling over each other, like Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs, Arsenal, like all the teams that you expect to kind of do something. West Ham were maybe the only team that kind of, and Leicester had very good long patches of kind of decent runs. But in all honesty, I think as much as we say it's kind of exciting and everything, I feel like there's just a lack of quality there, if that makes sense. Like, well, I think previous seasons we've said it. It's been no different this year for me. It's just kind of how the last day, as you said, has obviously played out, makes it look exciting or whatever. But the fact that the team Chelsea qualifying because other teams are dropping, like, it just tells you the lack of quality. They're losing and still qualifying. Yeah, it's a joke.
With the lack of quality point, I mean, we've touched it before. We won't touch it too much there, but sometimes when everyone is poor, it sometimes makes it a bit more competitive because like you're all rubbish together.
Yeah.
One of the funniest things this season was, you know, when the game that Liverpool lost, was it 6-1?
Yeah.
That was the same day you guys beat them, right? You did, or what? There was a day where there was two massive L's. I think it was the Liverpool 6-1. Was it 6-1?
Yeah, Liverpool lost 6-1 to Stoke.
No.
What are you talking
He's
about?
talking about the Aston Villa.
Yeah, Aston
Oh
Villa,
yeah, Spurs
And then
beat us the day
was that
before.
the
the
day.
day before,
That
wasn't
for
it?
me,
Yeah.
that kind of summarizes where the season was going. Like
Yeah.
when madness like that is happening, it's just like what we do. What's your thoughts come season?
Yeah, man. No fans. Obviously, it's a COVID season. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's the COVID season. A lot of COVID titles has been won this year. A lot of players have shone in the COVID period. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see.
Bubble face.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next season. But yeah, man, it started just feeling like, you know, obviously because of this period, football was just happening all the time, and it was good, obviously, because at the same time you can watch football, but at the same time it was a bit, you know, it started getting a bit boring after a while, and there was a period where I just felt like everything got a little bit flat. You know, as Phil had said, City took advantage, left, and then the relegation battle was settled quite early as well.
Games.
You know, usually you like to walk into the final day maybe with like who can get relegated or whatever, but this season it was just kind of like it was done like 3-4 games before.
Quickest it's ever been.
It's ever been. City, we had already known, had won the title from February. So in a way, it kind of just plateaued a little bit. And I think Chelsea resurgence of all this Champions League run and City and stuff kind of made the season a little bit exciting. You know what I'm trying to say? But as we know, Liverpool fell off and stuff. So it was just kind of, it was an up and down season. And as Phil had said, man, when it comes to the quality, I don't think there was a lot of quality on show, but it is what it is. I don't think it was a great Premier League season. But for me, it's not a great Premier League season. This is a very forgettable season.
You reckon it won't be memorable in it?
Even
Nah.
when you look at like the player of the year candidates, we're looking at Kane,
Diaz.
Diaz, Bruno, and Grealish, who's been out for a third of the season, which tells you even the individual quality. You haven't seen anyone kind of like rip the league and take it by the scruff of the neck, kind of how you would previous seasons, whether it was a Salah or Mane. There hasn't been that kind of slew of players. I feel like Kane has done it, yeah, but there's not been much else, I feel like, going on.
No, I hear it. But
Bruno had a decent season, but
let's get into this individual team. So we'll start from the bottom and work our way up. So coming in 20th place, we have Sheffield United, who lost 29 games, which is the worst record in Premier League history. They won 7 games. I think they only scored 9 goals at home, something like that. Is this a unanimous F- for them?
F.
Your dog.
F. What can you do? When you lose your manager mid-season and get relegated, last place, and what is it, the lowest point tally since Derby, maybe potentially.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, F.
That one's unanimous.
You don't even need to get into
Don't
that.
even need to get into that one.
Not even
Only person that can say they had a good season. Big up David McGoldrick. I think he tried. He tried, bro. McBurney and all them man weren't doing nothing. So
Brewster,
you know what I mean?
24 mil.
Brewster, brother, no goals.
We spoke about that though. The power of agents, man, getting the right move. What the youngster Jebuson's got more goals in Prem than Brewster, innit?
Come on, man. Like, even Alisson has.
That's crazy.
Bro, come on.
Crazy.
Let's go West Brom. So this one brought in Big Sam, sat their manager.
This is a U. This is a U.
Go on, talk to me.
Because as we were saying, similarly to Sheffield, kind of capitulated the whole season for me. They've had kind of few odd results here and there against Liverpool, against Chelsea, where people think, yo, there might be something. They brought in Big Sam. And I remember Sky Sports doing the whole breakdown of Big Sam's method to get out of, you know, the relegation zone. Egg on your face. Improved nothing. In January, you didn't really back him as he was kind of what he needed to kind of get them up. Bro, it's a you failed. Like January, you failed. You brought in a new manager, you failed. Like, it was just signed, sealed, delivered that they were going to be relegated throughout the season. So
yeah. West Brom are one of them teams that I just don't ever want to see in the Prem ever. They have no source about them, nothing about West Brom. Do you know what I mean? And
collection of player vibes, innit?
they tried to put some sort with Diangana and
big up Pereira.
Pereira as well.
He should be coming back into the Premier League. He's a good player. Ajayi as well.
Yeah, Shea Ajayi had a couple of big
good games.
Yeah.
He's decent. Conor Gallagher kind of faded away, but he started well.
off
And your boy Johnston in goal.
Johnson. So they have a few
Get
players
moved.
that have made a good account for themselves, but I'll agree. Like I can't go. It's an F grade season. You got relegated.
Do you know what's so funny about West Brom? There was this period, I think it was not within the last 5 games. It was just before the run-in where they beat us. Was it Liverpool they got the result against?
Yeah.
And it was like, hold on, they're trying a little something. So Big Sam maybe tried to get a ticket. And it was like, no, in reality, not. It wasn't going to happen. Next one's Fulham.
Same for me. I mean, look,
the question I would ask
the thing about Fulham, yeah, the thing about
They got a lot of Niger boys.
No, it's about Fulham. I feel like everyone likes Fulham.
Yeah.
You know, young manager Scotty Parker,
Plays
Lookman. Like they've got like a lot of likable players in their team. Ola Anya, they got a lot of players in their team. Some people Loftus-Cheek and all that. Like they've got a lot of nice young players in their team, and it's kind of likable. London club as well. But overall, they were always from minute one. They were battling in the relegation. Do you know what I mean? And big up them for they put up a late fight. And if you actually look at some of their results, late goals cost them potentially a race.
The draws,
yeah,
what cost them.
Do you know things? So I don't know. For me, what's the ABC? E.
Do you know what I feel on this year? Like this, we'll wrap through these teams quite quickly. But with Fulham, when you look at the facts of it, right, they were 11 points off Burnley. Burnley were a team that had no investment into their squad, stale and everything. People probably thought they'll be relegated. Fulham got 5 wins this season.
Only 5.
Only 5 wins,
bro.
They got the lowest.
This is what I'm saying.
Them on
Being
West Brom.
actually quite nice.
Them on West Brom. They got 5 wins.
Oh, come on, man.
5 wins this season.
Yeah.
They in hopes to kind of get the season back on, they brought in a striker manager from France. Like they play good football, but again, it's going to be the same way we get into Brighton. Playing good football is great, but the objective is the objective. Being 11 points off is
11 points off and 5 wins. I gotta go back. That's an F.
For me,
That's an F. But Scott Parker somehow has walked away from this with his
looking with his head held high.
Yeah.
Media clips of team talks coming out.
We saying PR.
Young and English managers.
And he wears a gilet underneath his blazer.
I think he gave him a shout out as well. Fergie said that he likes him.
Yeah. I remember
Fergie said that he.
The thing is, potential's there. I hope when they go back Championship, he stays. And I know he was talking about thinking he might get sacked or whatever, but they should stick with him. I think
if you're gonna give Scott Parker hype, then you gotta look at the job that someone like Eddie Howe did all them years. Yeah, I'm trying to say, and you gotta realize how big of a job he actually did. If Scott Parker's getting all this praise for having the least wins ever and getting relegated,
let me go one further.
You know what I mean,
if Scott Parker's getting hype here, it makes sense why people are saying Bielsa was the 3rd best coach in the world. What man did with me,
bro? We'll get into those ones, man.
Real talk. Let's go. Burnley. So Burnley finished on 39 points. With Burnley, I mentioned it just now, they had no recruitment again. They're a very stale team. You never know what to expect, and you always feel like this is the year that they should get relegated.
Yeah,
they've managed to stay up. They're just below 40 points. There's not much aspiration of where they should be. I don't see them trying.
Premier League.
Yeah.
No, but I feel like this season, with them having not spent nothing, I felt like it was an objective of just stay up.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we're doing like a relative to each
based on
team,
your objective,
me personally, I'm giving them a C. Like I think
they finished last season.
I get that, but was that not performing above and beyond expectations?
Wait, where did their average finish?
I get it. I feel like over the last couple of seasons they've been performing above expectation. This year they spent 0. Yeah. I was expecting them to fight relegation. They finished comfortably above it.
Do you know what I will say?
Yeah.
When they knew they were safe, I saw a bit more of Chris Wood. I saw a bit more of I think there was 3 games they scored more than 3 goals or something. Because they were a bit more free and everything. But the season's done by them.
Yeah.
Again, if their objective was solely to stay in the Premier League, they've done that and they've done it comfortably because other teams were dead. And that's just this year. And another year, I don't think it would have been as smooth sailing like that. I would probably say, because you hit your objective, D. I feel like they would have wanted to do better than this, 100%. And I feel like they could.
Do you know what? They walked into
with that stale dead team that they've had pretty much since coming up. Let's be real. Like a lot of those players have been there for the past 4 or 5 years since they were in the Championship. So it's like,
no, I hear it, but I even though that they've got safety, I still feel like
they could have done more.
They will, they showed it in the last. But I mean, the last 5 games, they've won 1.
1 win.
But
what was that against Fulham?
I think so. But it was that run before when lower league Harry Kane was turning up and Matty Vidya was doing they were showing
Matty
that
Vidya does that every season.
Yeah, he just gives that
once,
3 or 4 goals or something like that. So yeah, maybe You said C, right?
I said C. Yeah.
I would say a D. I think you can still pass with a D in some circumstances. So I'll give him a D. What do you say?
Parents will beat.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a D as well. Especially that they walked into the season. There was even a confirmation that Sean Dyche was going to be the manager and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But again, they comfortably finished out of relegation. But did they do? They finished about, what is it, nearly 15 points below what they had last season. So that's quite significant. Do you know what I mean? So they didn't achieve what they did last season, but they still survived relegation pretty easily. So I'd give them similar thing. They do what they do, man. Bread and butter, as we say every season. Bread and butter. They're gonna be Premier League survivors forever. It seems. You know what I mean? So he's really just the modern day Tony Pulis. Really,
I was gonna say.
But this was I wanted.
Do
to
not
say.
move away from this deal.
I hope Burnley don't start trying to
Don't
sign.
move away from it.
They'll go and try and sign Ansu Fati or something,
Boy.
and Trincao and yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
but you're raising a key point, and I think we had this conversation a while ago where Stoke were this team where bread and butter football will stay in the Premier League, and what happened was they tried to balance this. You know what? I will sacrifice 5 points for a bit more exciting football. You do that 1 season, 2 seasons, you end up in the Championship and never come back. Sean Dyche might have bigger plans as well. He might be like, listen, there's no bread here. There's a Spurs job going. There's a Wolves job going. I might be a bit bigger than this. So we'll see what happens, but I think those grades are relatively fair. Anything comment-wise? Anyone?
No. I think let's move on to Potter High.
Calm. Well, this is the one where we get the torchlights out. Because
the XG graph.
Real talk. We've all seen a lot of discussion. And I'm not gonna cap. I understand that Brighton, you know, they try and be expansive. However, football's a game of objectives. Like all this playing expensive and everything, you have to get the result.
Bro.
You have to get the result.
How can you be an attacking team, an expansive team, and a front foot team, but outside the relegation zone teams, you have the least wins? Like goals, where we're looking at goals, we know they've struggled for goals with Welbeck and Morpay and all that. And people say, oh, if they had a different striker, it would have gone different.
Well, that's part of the season rating.
For me, I just see last season they finished where? 17th? One place above it. Like,
I believe so.
This is what I mean.
I get the aesthetics, how it looks good, and people can look at it and think when it's not their team as a neutral when they're watching it. A lot of the times, United fans or Chelsea fans, they'll think, listen, this is good to watch. If you're supporting this team, this is fine. Nah, bro, I'm sorry. You still need results at the end of the day. If them relegation teams were actually any better, they would have been in big trouble, them and Burnley, in all honesty.
Brighton matched their points tally from last
personally, me, I'm giving them a D. I don't see any improvement. I'm like, as you said, D can be seen as a pass of some, as a failure to others. Personally, I'm not buying into the Potter hype, man. I think I need to see improvement, significant.
I'm going to ask you this question quickly, and I don't want to deviate too far, but you see they're in a situation where they're not going to be in Europe. They're trying not to get relegated. It's just about staying afloat. And it looks like what they've done is they've said, you know what, we're going to play a bit more expensive football. Obviously, there's not been fans in the stadium and everything, but we're going to play a bit more expensive football. The only reason I'm asking is because as a Spurs fan, a lot of Spurs fans have said we would rather see good football than stale and everything. Do you reckon that is something that can apply to a team that can very easily slip into relegation?
How do you mean?
I've spoken to fans that support like lower league teams before, and they'll be
happy.
Like, they would be like happy to see a bit of a something. Do you get what I'm coming from? They listen, if we're gonna nearly fall down, let's at least make it look like I'm paying money to see something. Yeah. So for them, they like, obviously I'm not a Brighton fan. Some of them might be like, you know what? We saw some pretty good football this year. For me, looking in, I'm like, I saw good football for no reason. You just wasted my time. I was watching you pop teams to concede 3 goals. Yeah, that's the way I see it. So
listen, like, I don't want to seem. How many years have they been in the Premiership now? 3rd year now?
Maybe 3rd season.
Because they came up under what? Chris Hughton.
Yeah.
3rd or 4th season or whatever. Like, I don't know. I just feel like they should be pushing up a little bit more.
It's a weird one because if you actually look at their stats, like this season, if you actually look at their stats, they've only conceded 46 goals. And to put that in context, that's only 2 less.
Better than half
that's only 2 less than Man United. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So
most of the league, bro.
Yeah, they've actually conceded
-6. They've scored 40.
They've only scored 40.
That back 5 that are all 6'7".
Yeah.
Space Jam.
Left wing back is 7 foot.
Bro, Dan Burn, bro. Dan Burn.
I like Dan Burn.
But now you look at it, that you got to consider. You got to consider they've only conceded 46 goals, which is quite solid, to be honest. and then it's just that they didn't have a goal scorer. If you look at their team, for me, I'm kind of like with Fuad a little bit. I think one of my boys said it as well. Like when it goes right for Brighton, it looks ridiculous. Amazing. It looks really good, and he has shown sometimes to be tough to beat and set up. Yeah. And some of the teams he's played the big teams, and he's actually popped some of them. You know what I mean? So I think he is a good coach. Yeah, I'm trying to say, but to the standard that people are putting him at, I need to see results to back that. You can't just go with the wind with that one. Do you know what I mean? I need to see more. But to consider that they've only conceded 46, achieved the magic 41 goals, and look at this. Their attackers, Maupay,
Welbeck. Who else? They said he's really
average strikers, all average strikers. So maybe you never know if he could nick a Jermaine Defoe next season or something. All of a sudden, they could be a decent little team. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
But for me, that's what I said.
40 goals, that's so little, man.
That's what I said earlier. For me, the recruitment goes into the season rating though, because early on you could see that this team
they were lacking
goal
a forward.
scorer.
Yeah.
And then don't get me wrong, I know it's hard to get someone in, but in January, I remember when we were saying stuff like, imagine you got Sturridge and just I didn't see an attempt to do anything. So Welbeck started coming on and scoring goals and everything later in the season, but by then it's like it's dead. So I think that's fair. Next up, who
we got?
Hasenhutl's men. Hasenhutl's men.
Oh Lord, hey,
they are.
I think we got to start the dialogue on this one.
Southampton are my certified frauds of the season.
Crooks.
Hasenhüttl fraud of the season. Flipping that club, yeah. Let's be honest, everyone got sold on this brother for a second. It was you two gassed me, and I'm pissed that I felt. You two gassed me.
You bought stocks.
I bought stocks, you know what I'm trying to say? And it dropped down.
Told him to hold you, though. You told
bro.
Him
hold, bro. It's coming back. Buy more than dip.
Nah, this season, for me, they're the frauds of the season. They conceded 68 goals.
Bro.
That is just worse. Only West Brom. Only West Brom have conceded less and more than that. They conceded 68 goals. The football was not exciting. In the beginning, it was all good. People like Vestergaard started the season well, and this and you look at what's my man's name? Ward-Prowse was getting hype after hype for being a set piece merchant. Their whole club had everything about their club was just getting massively boosted as that feel good club that everyone can relate to and they like. I'm sorry, man.
Coming back.
Yeah, he's this season fraud, man.
In January, they will put in Vestergaard in halfway team of the
year. He was up there as well.
I had him there. I had him there. I thought, ball playing, composure. This is the modern day centre back you need. But bro, I think though at that point from January onwards, they just started getting hammered left, right.
Let me tell you when I was finished with my man.
Was it the 9-0?
9-0. Bro, you can lose 9-0 10 times. I don't care. I was finished with my man when he beat Liverpool and got on his damn knees. He got on his damn knees and cried for Klopp. Yeah. And the thing is, when I heard the story that he fell to his knees and stuff, I was thinking, I'm gonna hear some story that deep. When you maybe fell in a swimming pool like Kaká and you almost died and drowned and you came back and that's why you're happy.
When someone says something, you have to make because I thought that joke was coming.
Bro, then I hear the reason is because Klopp was always seen as that guy, and he was the underdog. And he didn't beat Klopp in a cup final. He beat Klopp in a normal game. He was on his.
When Beyblade, when Ray finally won,
man had to basically tap him on his shoulder while man's doing this.
I was like, get up.
I'm like, yeah, you're a joke, man. From there, I had to sell. I had to sell my stock.
What grade we giving?
I'm giving them a F.
E. I'll give him an E because it was looking like a nice story. It might be kind of mid-table team of the season, but then
I have to give it F. Do you know I have to give it F?
Go on.
Last season, they were just behind Burnley and that, and it was so you always look at Southampton as being one of these sort of clubs where it's like, good coaching for foundations, good academy, Danny Ings, they should be able to push on. They didn't push on, they went backwards. They actually went backwards. For me, in my head, if you were like 11th and you were like maybe 4 places off like 7th and stuff last year, you would have probably thinking
15th is a poor season.
Can we get close to European Conference? That's what I would see Southampton trying to do. And they finished where they finished. They weren't there the relegation at one point. So for me, it's got.
Let's whiz through these next 3, man.
Yeah. Palace,
good season, calm. D,
just do what you need to do.
Yeah, D, nice one, boy. Boy, we'll see you, legend, in this thing. Boy, my guy, man. Hey, I was just about to say RIP for some reason. Flipping farewell, bro. Farewell. That's it. Let's scoop. Let's scoop.
4 seasons they've been in the Prem, so hold tight. Them Wolves. This one, if anything, we learned this season. You know,
he was giving Nuno hype halfway through.
You know, have to come on this because
36 goals.
Jimenez disappeared, and that team just didn't look the same anymore,
bro.
So when I see that sort of influence, I'm like, right, is it the manager or is it the player? And you have to remember that the sort of
now as well.
Yeah, he's leaving now as well. They're probably gonna get someone that from that sort of same ilk that can keep, you know, that core of everything. We'll see what happens.
Now, credit to him in his entirety of his job.
2 seasons at 7.
Yeah, let's give him credit for the entire. Since he's leaving, well done for the job that he's done. He got them Europe. He even got to the quarterfinals of the Europa League, and now they're an established Premier League club. This season, it was a little bit of a regress, like 36 goals minus 16 goal difference, conceded 52. What you think about Wolves is meant to be kind of hard to beat, and that, and to concede 52. It's just not good enough. 36 goals for me, that's poor.
Is Wolves' come up one of the best come ups?
Jimenez was a big loss, though. Jimenez was a big loss.
In the sense of like teams that have come up from the Championship and stayed.
Do you know how? No,
are they the best one?
They're 3 seasons in, but do you know how I'd say I rate it? It's because you know when people talk about projects, there was a clear thought.
Leicester,
in terms of
take it back.
No, 100
Leicester
exactly.
title.
But I'm saying but this one in terms of Wolves. Like Leicester's one is pure. Wolves was, if you look at investment, because there's loads of people that by Championship clubs. Look how long it took Leeds to finally get back. Wolves were like, listen, we are gonna get all of the 6 youngsters. Ruben Neves playing Champions League, come Championship. And then they got there and they finished 7th twice. So like that praise. Now they have to be like, okay, can we get closer to where we was before? What sort of recruitment do we bring in? Because losing your striker is tough, I know. But to fall off how they fell off,
Willian Jose,
Fabio Silva. I know he's a youngster.
He's gonna get Porto's manager, innit?
Listen, probably. But that's them. So what rating? What rating? D.
Yeah, D.
C
meaty season.
D.
Cool. Let's go to Newcastle.
12th place, man. B. It's a B grade season. That's a B grade season for me.
You reckon?
Yeah, bro. I mean, the statistics are awful. 62 goals or whatever. But when you think about all season, I'm not a Newcastle fan, but all I've been seeing is Newcastle fans going mental. And I'm not gonna, because I don't like when people speak on Glazers and they're not your fan, I'm not gonna speak on whatever goes on at their club. But all I've been seeing is Bruce has got to go. This is the game, he's gone. And then all of a sudden, Joe Willock comes in and moves like Superman. 7 goals games in a row he scored, setting records of Van Nistelrooy and all them man there. Yeah, so for me, when you look at the fact that they finished 12th, I think that's a very good season for them. And credit to them.
They were in a relegation sort of like scrap at one point. And to me, if this was a test paper, what they did was they answered everything they could and then everything else they left, but they can still get like a C or a B. And the reason why I say that is as soon as their good players came back, you saw the influence. ASM, Wilson, oh my gosh, it looks like a different team. Willock comes in, he performs well.
Yeah.
Like they had a part of the season where those guys were missing and you couldn't even look at.
What's the winger Murphy as well? Second
wing
half
back
of the season.
He came in and he performed really well.
Yeah.
He actually performed really well. Those are the sort of performances that could actually get him, ironically. So,
and the thing is, with Newcastle, I look at them as almost like the polar opposite of Brighton. Similar to like you said, where Steve Bruce gets that bad rep, that bad image. They play ugly football. They're seen as defensive, whereas Brighton are seen a complete opposite. But you look at the results. One is 12, one is 16. It's like those are for me the kind of minor differences. And listen, the way they ended the season, especially when the pressure was on.
He won the manager of the month. They like don't forget about what happened in the last few bits. Like that's how sick that time. I would say probably.
I think Newcastle have just a bit more quality where you need it than Brighton. They got Callum Wilson, I think it's good.
He's been injured.
ASM, ASM.
But when he has played, he scored.
Yeah, he's got double figures in the Premier League now.
No, but I'm just saying, like for the
large chances.
Yeah,
that's why ASM would have been a lot better if they didn't.
Yeah, so Willock, he's come close. I think they've got the quality just about in the right more areas than
they got a good goalkeeper as well for Premier League. The brother goalkeeper. This one is one I'm gonna pass over to you. Villa.
Oh man, what a season it could have been, innit? What a season it could have been. For me,
They were 17th last season.
last season, this is a A grade season. For me, the
You think so?
17th last season, all their signings pretty much paid off. You look at what they invested in the summer.
Mhm.
That's paid off. 55 points, well above relegation, positive in the goal difference. They got +9. They missed the best player in the Premier League for 12 games. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Premo was that
For 12 games, and it went pissed at that point. You know what I'm trying to say? So for them to not completely capitulate, I think that's decent when you consider what they finished 4 points off Everton and Leeds, so 4 points off the top 10 with their best player, their talisman, out for 12 important games.
Yeah,
They had, for me, the performance of the season, 7-2 against Liverpool. I think that's the performance of the.
I would have given them an
So,
A had they been in the top half. I think
I'm giving them an A.
I would have given
It's
them
a fantastic
A they were
season if you're a
top
Villa
half.
fan.
I think. Listen, best of what. Like if start of the season, as you looked at it, if you told them they were going to finish behind all these teams, I think they'd have taken it all day.
100.
And I think the way they started the season, you got to give credit. As we said, the amount of times for their players who they signed last season improved as well.
Mhm.
Done a couple good signings this year. I'd give them a B.
Fair.
I think B is fair.
Do you know why it's so crazy? Because we'll get onto Leeds. I would give them an A. So if I'm giving them an A in terms of like Premier League safety, I'd give Villa a B.
I'm giving Leeds an A+, mate.
We'll get onto them. We'll get onto them. Everton, production, speak. Speak.
Nah, it's not.
Can we move on from there?
Talk to
We
me.
need to go further.
Bro,
nah.
if you went back here to stoppage time start of the season, we were talking seriously like, hey, Everton might be in the top 4 picture. Pickford, I remember I saying Pickford might be the only thing that lets them down this year. 10th.
But you see, with Everton, I've always said, for me, with Everton, when you look at Everton, I've always said that they're the biggest pretenders in Premier League history. Like when it comes to Everton, they don't win trophies. They don't battle really. Like, what do? You always think, oh, this is going to be Everton's year that they might knock on the door. For a club that spend money as well, they do put money into their club. So for me, I think this season is a D, because they went ham in the summer. We thought they're going to really, really come this summer. And the fact that I'm adding in the fact that they flattered to deceive. This season, they actually were hovering around with the big boys. It was always a thing. For some reason, Everton had like 2 games in hand all the time. Yeah. It was always like, hold on, if Everton win that, they're 4th. If Everton win that, they're going to finish above Liverpool. Find it for the first time in how long? It was all paintings for a nice thing. And when you've got a manager who's apparently this go in Ancelotti, come on, you got to be getting over the line. To finish 10th, I think that's absolutely poor. How did they finish below Arsenal? Like, and no disrespect to Arsenal, but how did they come on?
That's what I was going to say.
Embarrassing season. That's for me, DE.
So for me, the reason why they have to be low, like maybe an E, is the fact that this is Ancelotti's the lowest he's ever finished in the league. It's the lowest he's ever finished in the league.
I knew he's not going to do nothing at Everton. He's here for a paycheck.
It's not like they didn't have the tools. It's not like they didn't have the tools. Like,
drinking coffee hype, bro.
Hey, that was against us in the FA Cup as well. Pussy.
For me, it might have to be an E, because even if you aim high and you fall off, like we will talk about with Leicester and West Ham, you end up in a nice position. They were there and it's like, nah, this is like components here when it keeps going lower and lower and lower and lower. This is
F is too far. It's not F is too far. Yeah, no. I'm talking about production.
I think an E.
Yeah, DE. It's the flattering to deceive, man.
D minus.
Yeah, it's the fact that we had such high hopes for them, and they were justifying it.
The DCL, the way his form went cold second.
No, but come on, let's got to give him some credit though.
Credit.
So is it 17 Premier League goals or 16? Stat team. Come on. 16. Come on.
Listen,
16.
He got 13 of them before January. You see what I'm saying? It went cold second half, and I feel like that was definitely
header hype got exposed.
Hammonds' injury as well was a big effect.
I'm enjoying this year, but we've got to run through this. Next up here, this is probably the one that we've probably been looking forward to. Bielsa Ball, 59 points in the Premier League in their first season back. They are one of 3 A-star teams this season, in my opinion. One of three. Yeah, that's fantastic, man. Come on. Especially that people were so angry about how the commentators keep giving them credit or whatever. They started becoming like a little fans versus media thing. Media kept saying, oh, Bielsa Ball, like they'll lose 3-0, and it's like, oh,
Bielsa. And then the fans started turning on it, saying, why do you like you're bum licking them too much? But listen, they did it the right way, man.
But
They
the
came.
bum licking came when he got nominated to the top 3.
Yeah, fair enough. But that was
Listen,
ridiculous.
see
But
with this
Leeds
one,
did their thing, man.
To
A
summarize
star.
it- to
A
summarize
star.
it quickly, yeah.
A star.
To summarize it quickly, yeah. If you look at their team, there's maybe like 2 or 3 players that's like, ooh, like their team is their team. He maximized what he could get of them. People would have probably thought they were going straight down. They stuck to their principles. They beat the big teams. They beat the big teams as well. This was with no fans and everything. They beat the big teams. And if not for their stupid results, they could have actually got European football.
Bro.
If not for like 2 stupid results, they could have got European football.
Bro, top
So
season.
I can't argue with that.
And they gave us one of the most exciting players this season in Rafinha as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've probably got 2 players
this
that, like,
season. Yeah. So
I'll give him an A as well.
Cool.
and then, it's not only that.
The fact that he's with the Aston Villa thing, where I was saying finish top half, you're mixing with the big boys, like, and I think they've been kind of steadily consistent as well. Whether it's we consistently lose 3-0,
Yeah. We're just consistent.
but also the entertainment factor.
Every
as well.
Leeds match is
I
lit.
think every Leeds match we've seen, even as a neutral, you just got to say, yo, there's going to be some goals.
Yeah.
There's going to be some mistakes. And that thing that you touched on as well, a lot of these players having come from the Championship, and you would look at and just, guys like Dallas,
Harrison,
man, just
a lot of them
ailing.
Leeds players
First
have left
pick,
with their head
first pick
held high.
Mezelia. I'm not even going to, I'll hold my hands up. Start of the season, I was like, yo, I don't know why they signed this keeper from the French second division. And then I said, yo, he's actually looking like one of the signings of the season, low key. So credit
He
to
doesn't
him,
even
and I'll give him an A.
be a goalie. I don't know
Real
how he's
talk.
doing
He
it.
looks very timid.
Yeah,
Let's
man,
go into
first
Arsenal.
credit to them. Arsenal. I mean, 8th makes it. Nah, come on.
It's so mad. Do you know what?
I don't know.
This is hard. Do you know
It
what?
could have been worse.
Do you know what? This is so mad, yeah, because seasons are 38 games, but there's parts of your seasons that are very telling.
Yeah.
If I told you that in terms of the second half of the season,
5 games.
yeah, but this second half of the
They
season, I
turned it
think
around.
they've picked up the most points. I think it's since
Yeah.
January. They've picked up the second most points since January.
It's
5 wins.
Arsenal's a tale of 2 seasons, isn't it?
That's
Both
what it
these
is.
next 2 teams.
It's the tale of 2 seasons, and it's just really unfortunate because at the end of the day, when you look at it as it is, you missed out in Europe for the first time in 25 years. You've shown that you're not in that conversation.
Oh yeah, and Bamford. Got to give him some claps as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's a good shout. In terms of the top teams, we don't see you in that 6 anymore. Even though that this season finished well and it doesn't look as damning as it should do, the perspective of what's happening at Arsenal is very scary. I had a man telling me that they should be aiming for 75 points next year. I said, how? It's based
How
on
much? 75.
yeah. I said,
What?
how?
That's title.
That's
That's title talk.
Well, but
what?
I was like, but how?
75 is more than we got this season.
Yeah, it's like, but
chill
where's that
with that.
uplift gonna?
Nah, that's
come
a lot
from?
of points.
What I would say is what's interesting about Arsenal as well is to a certain extent they would say that Saka, Smith Rowe, they've had good tells come at the season, but in general, the way Arsenal's fans talk, they should not be 8th. I may expect
13.
this from them, but they should not expect themselves to be 8th. And therefore, for me, this season is a D. They would have probably been hoping to.
I think that's generous.
Arsenal wanted been help.
I would say
Arsenal would have wanted.
the thing is though, you look at how the season started.
Did Arsenal get European football?
No.
Yeah,
But I
it's
think
fucking
that
yeah.
low key, it's a W. I'm giving him a C. You know, honestly, I think the second half of the season turnaround. Listen, second half of the season turnaround. The
Above
fact that they did
500?
not above. Listen.
No.
Okay, a C minus. If you want to say it, yeah. But for me, I think the second half of the season turnaround. Listen, people were laughing at them start of the season, saying they were in the relegation zone. Nobody predicted them to finish in the top half. Start of the season, would you have said they would have finished in the top 6? Because I didn't.
In the
They're
top
not- they're not in the
6
top 6.
after
Yeah, I
being
know.
FA Cup champions.
No,
Yes,
they
I would have said they
FA
could.
Cup champions.
No, I would have said they
No,
could get
so
top
it is,
6,
it is,
man.
Fred.
Come on.
I understand what you're saying, but this is if we take it back, their sort of objective, you know, the FIFA thing. Your objective is to try and win a trophy and get into top 6. They finished 8th with a sick run at the end. That's why I said, you know what we said about D being a pass to some people. Their season's a D for me, man.
Bro,
No,
I think
season's a D
I
for me.
think it goes from a D to a C because they didn't qualify for the Conference League. That's just my perspective.
That's
That's just my perspective.
Conference League came mid-season,
getting
lad. No one knew start of the season that Conference League was about. Nah, for me, I won't need to get too into it. It's an E. It's an E season.
E, C, D.
Yeah, I
Cool.
mean, it's a
Boy,
poor season
listen,
for Arsenal.
over to you, Fuad. What grade do Spurs get?
F.
Do you know why Spurs get a U? For the stupidness they pulled on the last day. You
Bro,
man could have gone
facts.
You could have gone
Facts.
F, but the
No,
stupidness you
you're
put on
right.
that stage, you get
Because
you.
man want to play checkers, not chess.
Yeah.
Stupidity. I'm sorry. Like when you've got the option of not being in the conference.
What's
league and
that?
then
What's that thing
you
called? Is it
choose stat
Stockholm
pad at the end?
syndrome? When you fall
Bro.
in love with the people
But
that
then
are
it's
pressing you.
also when you talk
Is
about
that what it's called? Yeah, that's what you meant.
No, but when you
Why
talk
would you
about
help us?
Arsenal's turnaround from the start to the second half, we were the complete opposite.
Mm.
Start of the season, Sky Sports were talking about, yo, the
Title.
might be title. And now what if it's conference or not? Bro, egg on your faces.
You
You
man-
sack the managers 4 or 5 days before a final, egg on your face again. So, bro,
Just
and
in
Arsenal,
utter F failure.
Arsenal,
Harry Kane, well done. Breaking
Yeah.
records. 93, 94 was the last time
We'll
we
get
see
into
that.
that
And
a
I
bit,
think, I
haven't
think
we?
we've missed one. I think there's another season still because it's
Yeah.
happened 3 times. But either way, it's a
Bro.
remarkable achievement.
remarkable.
It's a
24
remarkable
goals. Was it 13 assists, 14 assists?
14 assists
Yeah.
because he assisted Bell.
Incredible.
Gareth Bell, 11 goals in 20 games.
Not bad in the end. No, yeah, but it's definitely a stat pad, isn't it?
Don't
Listen,
let me
he's warming up
dive
for
into
Europe.
them numbers.
He's warming up for Europe.
For me,
off you go.
Spurs,
I'll give you.
poor season, and as I said, yeah, when you sack a manager in the middle of the season, that goes into my grading as well.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm giving them an E as well. I think you still seventh in retrospect is just seventh, innit? Like whatever. It's only West Ham really outdone you. You're out of the top 6. So I'll allow you there. But at the same time, the whole Jose Mourinho hype, everything that I knew that was gonna happen, the whole Jose Mourinho hype, you guys are apparently gonna win the league and stuff, and then the collapse, and then we're only including the Premier League, so we'll say the collapse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to bring out the prisons.
Yeah. E
Listen.
grade season, bruv.
Let's go. West Ham, I'm going to put it out there. I think West Ham should get a high grade.
A star.
And
A star.
The reason why I say this is listen, at the beginning of the season, the manager was about to walk. People were saying that it's going to be relegation. And they are the one team, I would say, out of everyone that benefited from COVID because the fans weren't there. They actually enjoyed playing without their fans. For them to get European
That's
football,
true, you know.
bro, remember their fans fight each
Yeah.
other and that.
Man, they don't want to come out to them bubbles now. Sometimes they might get in their eye pre-game.
For them to finish in European football, I know some people might say that, you know what, they fell out of the Champions League places. This was not supposed to happen. Lingard doing what he was doing was not supposed to happen. And to a certain extent, there was a point where Rice got injured. It was like, how's that going to affect them? They've had.
And if they went a bit flunky at that
for
point.
them to do that, I have to respect it. Not only have they done well for themselves, Moyes has put respect back on his name.
Yeah.
Because boy, last season they were 16th, 39 points. So survival just.
He got them survival though, no? He came in mid-season. I think A star. Yeah, everything you're saying. Lingard, look at what he's come in and done. That's a great story. He might even make the Euros. Rice, 21-year-old captain. You look at Noble was obviously the captain. He's not even playing that many games. Rice steps in, captains them there. David Moyes, Souček, the recruitment of Souček. Who's that? Kufal, yes.
Yeah.
Only one that didn't really work out is Ben Rama, but let's see what happens next season. It might be one of them guys. Overall, man, what a season, bro. Who had West Ham 6th manager of the year, man? David Moyes, all day long.
Was it the last 2 weeks as well?
Yeah.
Top 4 was looking dead.
And people started trying to put that little, are they bottlers?
Yeah.
Nah, man,
But
nah,
we had this
Above and
conversation
beyond.
off
What a
air. We were
season.
saying that sometimes, like, you see, when you have those situations where you kind of fall off, that's where it's not just about quality of player that people buy, it's the mentality as well. Because if you have certain man, they can take you there, and I can't fault them because they're not able to do that yet. Like Antonio was out for a big chunk of the season. Well,
Lingard stepped up for them when
real
Antonio
talk,
before
they
Antonio.
start.
came.
Next one, we're gonna have to wrap through these. Leicester. So Leicester finished 5th, and with Leicester, I'm not going to talk
We don't include FA Cup.
We don't include the FA. It is for the
This
teams here
league.
because all in these teams are all somewhat with some European stuff in it, and some other trophies and that. So I can say we can include that stuff.
Yeah.
Like with City and everything, cool. But with Leicester, the reason why it's so mad is because they were the one team that won the top 4 for so long.
Have you seen the stat?
So long. I don't want to bring in the days from last year, but if you bring the days from last
bring
year,
it, bring it.
597.
Anyway,
days,
there's
they were the
eight.
What was it?
They've been in the top 4.
597 days.
They've been in the top 4 84 days more than Chelsea.
No, but
this season.
they've been in the top 4
As
for
well.
the whole season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 84 days, yeah.
Out for the last 2 weeks, but over the last 2 seasons, they've been in the top 4 the most.
Oh Lord.
Like deep it. Of the teams that won, they've been in the top 4 the most. Are they gonna be? If you're
For me,
Leicester
it's a B.
fan, yeah, if you're a Leicester fan, yeah, you've won an FA Cup.
What do you
Won an
think?
FA Cup. You've won an FA Cup. You've won an
With the FA Cup? With the FA Cup? So as I said,
Champions League by 1 point.
you missed out on Champions League by 1 point. To be honest, today is more.
Today is more.
These are the results that really annoy me with Leicester. Southampton, Newcastle, and today. Those three really annoyed me. But you look at the season, I keep saying, start of the season, if you had spoken to a Leicester fan and said, you're going to finish 5th and you're going to win the FA Cup, they'll give you a 10 out of 10, A-star. Thank you very much. We're out of here. So I get the context. Why? That's why I'm not giving them an A. That's why I'm not giving them an A. I'm giving them a B. FA Cup and 5th place, B, 100 for me.
Despite being in that strong position.
For me, man.
It is. Well, you're
like
bringing
quality,
in the context
no. But the thing is, the quality of their team as well suggests they should be in that top 4 mix as well.
No, but bro, do you know why it's so hard and not spend too much time? Because the objective for them would have been try and get top 4. Not you have to secure it. They've just fallen short and they've got the trophy. So in terms of their objectives, they're in a good place. But knowing what the season could have been, knowing what the season could have been, but again. As people that are not Leicester fans yet,
I'm sorry.
I think Leicester fans might be over
back
the
seasons.
I'll be honest.
They're over the. I don't.
Leicester. I think.
In about a week, the Leicester fans are going to be in the Leicester City Centre, all gathered around with their scarves out, celebrating the FA Cup, having an open-top bus parade. They're happy with the season.
In terms of
season,
it is a good season. It's not perspective.
You would take top 4.
That
you would take 5th and an FA Cup.
Champions League given them.
No shame in it.
Yes.
If they got Champions League and the FA Cup, it would have been A-star for them. They would have been A-star.
That's for
me. We would have had to create new letters.
Star.
I would have said something in hieroglyphics.
Qualification. Where does that put them? I don't think you can put them at C. You said a B.
C plus.
I say a B. I say a B.
C plus for me.
B.
C plus for me because it's like last year's throwaway of the top 4. You learned nothing from it. And that's for me the thing. It's like you've ran 2 marathons now and the same issues. No. I know. But I'm saying the same thing that happened last year has happened this year. So for me, I have to look at it as like, did you learn anything from last year? I love that they won the FA Cup. Listen, fantastic. I'm happy for you. You beat Chelsea. Lovely. But still, you failed. The main thing you set out start of the season was we're going to be that club to break that top 4. Listen, 5th place. It's not a bad season.
Is that their main?
For me, C plus. I think now they're getting to that stage. For me, it's title secured, FA Cup secured. Next season is top 4 or bust.
We saying Roger sacked.
Hey, come to Tottenham. Come to Tottenham.
Bringing the Sporting Lisbon manager, yeah.
With Chelsea, so we still got.
You got it out for him for some reason.
With Chelsea, the Champions League final is still there. It's still there. It's still there.
Chelsea C.
Right now, it's a C. Right now, it's a C. I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a C. If we lose the Champions League,
lost the FA Cup final, C minus.
Yeah. If we lose the Champions League, it goes to D minus.
Hold on.
This is Chelsea Football Club we're talking about.
Did Chelsea not lose the FA Cup final last year and finish 4th? And Lampard got sacked.
Yeah. But I'm talking about it's the Champions League that's potentially holding it. So if we won the Champions League, we might go to a B.
The reason why I got to give you is because you, as I said, I grade. I would have given you guys a C. But you guys went through a period where you had to sack a manager, which I marked down as part of my marking. So the fact that you've done that, you've lost some points on my.
You spent 200 mil to achieve the exact same thing.
No.
Exactly. We need to take these things in consideration. Not only that, bro. Not only that. In the context of the season, your top scorer was Jorginho at 7 goals. Kai Havertz is at the moment. I all think he's gonna bang. At the moment, he's a flop. Werner. At the moment, he's a flop. Ziyech, at the moment, he's a flop.
They've got the most flops at the table.
At the moment, I think it's a C. C.
See where the season is right now, yeah? Do you know why it's a C minus, yeah? Because there was a lot of energy that, with the signings we've made, we should go
more than
compete.
7 league goals.
No, but bro, listen to what I'm saying. We said, remember, I came in
the group chat.
At least
we saying 30 goals.
We didn't compete at any point of the season. We didn't, listen to what I'm saying.
Bro,
listen to what I'm saying. We did not compete at any point of the season. The only reason that this season could potentially finish well is because of those 2 finals, and we've lost one. So right now it's a D minus. If we win the Champions League,
it's a B plus.
Yeah.
No. If you win Champions League, A. If you win Champions League, it's A.
Is the Champions League that much stop?
Of course, it's the Champions League.
No, it's the biggest. I don't know about A. I'd say B.
It's the biggest competition in football. Well, obviously not the World Cup, but
you know what? I'll take it.
If you win Champions League
right now, it's D minus. And if we win Champions League,
D minus.
Bro,
no, season not in that bad. Jesus,
I like this reality,
bro.
D minus,
bro. We were supposed to compete for the league.
That's too. You're the Chelsea fan. You're the.
We were supposed to, bro.
D minus.
No, but it is. I'm the reason why I'm saying it. Yeah, I wasn't even of that energy, but remember everyone was like, listen, we're gonna win the league. We're gonna win the league.
Mhm.
We did not compete at any point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
D minus. I think.
We finished top 4 on a technicality.
You know what Maze is not
It's
doing?
D minus.
He's not letting the Chelsea standards drop.
It's D
Where
minus.
you
It's
Chelsea
D minus
fans have.
season.
The
It's a
Chelsea
D
standards
minus
ain't dropped
season.
round here. He knows where the bar is.
Fam, and we lost the FA Cup. We should have
Listen.
never lost the FA Cup.
Failures.
I think it's I don't think it's a D minus. It's too far, but whatever.
Fam, we
Yes,
can't say-
we move.
We're gone.
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Third, 69. The run to come back in.
D.
Alisson and everything.
D.
Talk to me. Where?
Liverpool had 99 points last season.
What, the fall off?
What?
But
Liverpool.
wait,
Hold on.
The injuries into
Yeah,
account.
because
Hold on. Yeah, of course we're going to take things
The
into
fact that at
into
one point
account.
They were 7th.
Liverpool
and
finished
that they-
30 points off their tally last season. They didn't compete with City at one point this season.
Right.
Not any stage did they compete with City. That's
Yeah.
a D. This is Liverpool Football Club. Can we hold them to some standards, please?
Facts. But
We're going to give Chelsea a D minus and Liverpool a
I
higher.
gave them a D.
Stinger
I gave
than-
C. I gave C. He said D. But Liverpool, I'm sorry.
Liverpool about to get a higher
4
ranking
weeks
than
ago, we were
Chelsea.
saying, we were laughing. Are they at the Champions League picture? They're not
Flipping
getting it.
hell.
But now they're third.
D.
But do you know
They're
what? Do you know
third.
what we're doing here? Listen to me, bro. Do you know what we're doing?
They're
here,
finished ahead of Chelsea, who
But bro,
spent 200 mil
Bro, do you know what we're
with
doing?
magical Tuchel.
But bro, do you
D.
know what we're doing here? What we're
Yeah,
doing?
but see,
we're
that's why we're
forgetting
giving him giving them
Liverpool's-
4 marks.
Liverpool's objective is let's go and win the league again. Let's go and do the double.
Mm-hmm.
And they fell into wilderness and finished third on what you could say is a technicality.
I'm giving
so
it.
I understand
we
where
got
you're
people
coming
in the
from.
live.
I
People in the
understand
live,
where you're
right?
coming
What do
from.
they
What-
think
what-
Liverpool?
what- what-
There's the Liverpool. If there's any Liverpool fans at the start of the season,
CD, what's it?
Liverpool was at the top of the table Christmas.
thank you, bro.
Fell off.
Bro, they fell off 30 points.
All right, cool.
Lads, 30 points off their tally last season.
That's 10 wins.
They were the
That's
champions.
10 wins. Hey, come, that's 10 wins.
They got packed out of the FA Cup quarterfinals. They got bounced out of the Champions League. What? Last 16?
It's not
Or was
been a
it
good
The
season.
level of
No,
their
Real Madrid, the
centre-backs-
quarterfinals. I'm
It
sorry.
is-
It's
not,
D.
it's not been a good season, but they can lick their wins and move on.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Well
I'll
done.
Give him a
Wins and
C.
move on.
And man, them, I've said it.
I'll give him a C. I think that's fair.
I can't give them a C. I give them a D. But and I've said it. Look, Van Dijk's back next season. Gomez is back. They'll be back.
See,
I think Liverpool will
Alright,
be
cool.
back.
United.
C.
Now this one,
C.
why C? Talk to me.
Average. Nothing. Weren't doing their thing. Didn't compete for the title when we had the opportunity to compete.
You were at the top in January. Weren't
Yeah,
you?
when we had the opportunity to compete. Huh? Oh,
They moved
When
in
we-
silence. They were saying
when we had the opportunity to compete. When you look at the season, 73 goals, which is the second most in the league, unbeaten away all season, which is decent. But at the end of the
You're
day,
only the third team to do that, bro. You're only
Yeah.
the third team to do that.
you know what?
You
You know what?
did
I'm being
higher
harsh.
ranks than
I'm
last
being harsh.
season.
I'm gonna give us a C plus. I'm gonna give us a C plus.
I find it very hard for you not to
Yeah,
give at least
C
a
plus.
B minus for your season. I get what you're saying because the thing is, yeah, what it is, all you've ever said is you can't be competing yet. You can't. You see, you can't be
Got
competing.
a point.
Yet. And you weren't there,
And
but
we
like,
comfortably finished in the top. We weren't even in the top 4 race like the rest of you lot were. We weren't.
So-
you know what I mean? So that I get that. I get that.
What-
I'm still
what
C.
was the
I'm still
target
C
start of the
plus.
season.
Top 4. Wasn't champions.
I thought it was the dark horse season. And I
thought Man United
thought
were gonna
in
win the league?
January.
Wait,
when-
hold on.
In January, when you lot were
No, but when the
Pushing
start of the
towards
season, did
there.
you think we're going to win the league?
no, but I thought
Oh.
you lot would be in the title mix.
Did
And
you?
I think at the point in January, before you lot
Feel
played
like
that
you thought we
Sheffield
were
game,
going to compete
I
with
ju-
Liverpool. You thought Liverpool.
Go
and
watch
Chelsea-
last year's episode when
Liverpool
we were
and City.
finishing, and the first episode I was telling you United are dark
so what
horses
grade are you
this
giving?
year.
Because time's going.
Me D. I'm giving him a
D.
D.
Okay.
We're finishing
D.
I'm
second
giving him a
place.
What are you
D.
saying? What are you
Second
giving?
place hype.
Hold on, I need the explanation for that D. That's a big mark.
Okay,
Before we
C.
do that, yeah,
I'll
This
say
brother gave Liverpool
I'll-
C and
I'll
United
say
C.
C.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
them East African marches.
What are we doing here?
All right, C.
Manchester
C.
He gave Liverpool C
Alright,
and United
But
D.
I think when you went from the top 21 and 21 was ringing at
21,
one
21.
point, and then we had
cool.
nothing at the end of it.
Europa
how
League, innit?
far behind
Only
are
Europa
you
League-
now?
Only the Europa League, innit?
Cool.
Potentially.
Does the
So I
Europa
don't
like,
really
can I-
care.
That when we
Before
put
we
that
move
Chelsea
in,
standards
does Europa
dropping,
League-
but you're letting your
Does Euro-
standards drop
does
to Europa League.
do
I've said I
anything
don't
to your
care.
rate to your
Europa
rating of
League
this
hype.
season?
When I was doing numbers, when I was doing like numbers, not grades,
Yeah.
I said if
C-.
Man United, if Man United this season is 5 out of 10 for me, and if we win the Europa League, it's a 6 out of 10. I can't cap this season.
You're
for
saying
6
what
out of
you're
10.
saying.
We
C-
started the season in the
I-
Champions League,
C minus.
so I'm giving it a C plus.
I went B minus.
C
I went
minus.
B
B
minus
minus.
still.
You're being very generous.
D.
Maybe.
That's ridiculous.
But I'm just trying to take into perspective in terms of like they went better than they did last season. I don't think they were supposed to win the league.
Yeah, I agree with that.
When
The no win.
They
unbeaten
literally threw it
away.
away themselves as well. That's the thing.
Nah, City
Sheffield
had
shooting
games in
themselves the
hand,
foot.
innit?
City had games in hand as well, but you had the opportunity to be
keep
there
it
and
going.
keep it going. But
If it wasn't
by the
then, though, it was going to be at another
Martial
time.
falling down. There was many things that played a part. But listen, it is what it is.
But I would say this though: if you won Europa League, I don't think that has an effect on my grade.
No,
I
and neither
expect
does
you
it.
to do
It
that.
doesn't have
That's
an
what I'm
effect
saying.
on my grade either. If we lose, it does.
Yeah, exactly.
But if we
There
win,
you
I
go.
don't really.
I also don't like how you lot kept going games down and then coming back to.
Stop hating,
I
man.
was
Yeah,
like, we were
yeah,
hearing
what
that
kind of
was
nonsense
sustainable
reasoning
all year,
is
but they
this now?
sustained it somehow.
What kind of nonsense
Sustain the
reasoning-
title challenge.
This is what kind of reasoning is
It's
this?
just bitter.
Bro, what kind of reasoning is this, bro?
So is City
That
the
was Jose
13th?
special
City
for
the
a bit.
13th get A-star then, yeah?
Huh?
Is City the 13th that get A-star?
Yeah, only three teams to get A-star. City have got to
West
be
Ham,
that.
Leeds.
Congratulations to Man City. Congratulations to a great career for Sergio Aguero.
Well, he's going to
man.
Barcelona, so it's not over. But
Well, in the
City
Premier
could have-
League, it's
yeah,
over,
great.
innit?
Yeah.
What a Premier League. We've witnessed a legend.
Yeah.
Certified, bona fide legend, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So credit to him.
We've spoken about it, like we've battered it to, we've used this to the soap bar went thin. But in terms of what City done to change the style of how they did it, I have to give it credit.
Bro,
it's not going to be something. It's not going to be a season that we remember. Remember when City done this, but they did what they had to.
No,
do.
but when Pep,
If it's
when
a treble,
Pep-
it's
Oh
hey,
no! Oh,
it's a-
actually, no.
it's-
But the thing is, I haven't even started talking about the Champions League yet. I'm just
Yeah.
saying in general, as it is now, you can say it's an A-star
the
season.
thing,
It's
the thing
A-star.
I
Has the
like about
potential-
Pep is when you're as great as he is as a manager, and
Yeah.
you've had this way of winning for over a decade or whatever,
Yeah.
and then you're kind of humble enough
Yeah.
to say, you know what, this
I
ain't
can
working
change it
this
up.
year. I can switch
The
it
one
up.
black mark you had, well,
Bro,
you
that's
had
growth.
You had two black marks. You
Yeah.
had the black mark of the Champions League, and you had the black mark of
You
can he
don't coach
defend?
defense.
and he may.
Bro,
He's done one of them. The second one may
that's
come.
why the second half of the season, you've seen me. I've
He
held
didn't
my
say
hands up. I
anything.
said the two things I always held against
I
Pep.
respect you.
He's actually this season been like, yo,
you watched the
hold
video.
this, bro.
He listened to it.
listen, credit to him, brother. And if
Calm.
he gets this final now,
no striker to win the league with no striker as well, and he could potentially win Champions League.
Phil
Foden's
breakout year.
breakout. Diaz is
Yeah.
perfect signing.
Gundogan,
everything.
Ruben Diaz.
15 and 15 for Foden.
What was
Yeah.
that? Yeah, I said
What,
15.
16 and 12?
Did he score today?
I think,
Did
yeah.
Foden scored today.
Yeah, yeah,
16
yeah.
and 12. I was close.
Mm.
What?
Listen,
That is a
choose
that is a
more. Put your
prophecy,
bets on.
man.
Real talk. We'll go into. Is there anything popping up right now? We might go into the duds and champs.
I know young talents. Trust me.
No.
Champions League predictions.
Oof.
I said it the other day.
You think we're going to lose
Arsenal
to Europa, innit?
Yeah. Villarreal, man.
I still feel Chelsea win. I feel like we have to switch it on now. The form that we're in, we have to switch it on. So I'll go Chelsea win.
that
I
means
would
you're going
have-
to
I
have to
would say
flick
that-
on a magic switch.
I would
think
have to say that anyway.
the lack of experience in your
You're saying
dressing
City-
room.
you're saying
City,
City win.
3-1,
Win.
comfortable.
I want Chelsea win, but I think City are going to win.
Cool. Europa.
I think
Villarreal.
I think it's going to extra time.
Unai.
I think it's going
This
to
is
extra
Unai's
time.
I feel like Ollie's played the last few weeks wrong, man. I don't mind the fact that he had to make changes, but we lost. You don't want to go out there and lose against Leicester. As a club, that still affects you. Mentally, that still affects you. So the loss against Leicester, then we lose against Liverpool, and in the Wolves game, he makes 10 changes as well. Sir Alex Ferguson always said, don't make too many changes before a cup final. You know what I'm trying to say? So I don't know how Ollie has played this. So I think we're going to win because I just think we might just have a bit too much quality for them. But I'm not that way. It's 50-50, bro. It's
No, I hear it.
50-50.
I hear it.
They gave Real Madrid a really good game. They could have even beat them, to be fair.
Madrid just
So
came
yeah,
clutch at the end.
yeah, bro. I don't know.
In terms of champs and duds,
Of the season or what?
well, just
We're gonna do a whole. We need to do individual
Yeah,
players.
we're
Yeah,
going to do a review.
We'll have to go into
Yeah,
that
yeah, have to do
eventually.
that.
But in terms of this week,
Don't be taking questions or something. I thought.
yeah, no, we'll do that after. We'll do champs
Yeah.
now quickly. But
Send any questions.
one of my
in.
champs has to be Haaland. He's the first player since R9 to get 40 goals all comps in the top season under 21.
What's Mbappe got? 40 this season, huh?
He's the first player in the under the age of 21 since R9 top 5 leagues to get 40 goals. This is the second season that he's got 40 goals as well. Last season he did half up.
Mbappe's
Yeah.
two anyway.
And then half at
Austria.
Yeah. So
Remember when he went
40
top 5 in the
goals.
world? Remember when they all said that? When I said he's top 5 at the start of the season and I'm getting abused for it. They were telling
This
me
guy went back to a
and they were
post 6
telling me-
months. Said, "I remember when you said he
Bro,
went
they were
top
telling
5."
me Jamie Vardy's better than Erling Haaland.
You got-
Flipping
you
hell.
got-
I can't help
you
people
got-
sometimes.
That's if you think back across 2 seasons at that age, that's mental. Special shout to Harry Kane for doing that, achieving
golden
that feat.
boot, bruv.
That's legendary status.
We
3
talk about
golden boots.
secured.
Come on, man.
And do you know why the reason why I want to get
Some of these legends that we love
They
haven't
don't
even
touch
got
that.
one.
They haven't
Some
touched
have only got one.
they haven't touched
So
that.
you got to really give him.
And-
Huh? Aguero's got one.
One, yeah.
Rooney's got 0.
And do you know why the reason why I give him? You know the reason why I have to respect it as well, yeah.
I mean,
Laugh at the lack of trophies at Spurs and everything here, but when we talk about, you know what I'm saying? When we talk about our greats are in situations where they can actually win trophies at the club. Right? He's just doing what he can. If the team can't come with me, then I'll just have to put myself.
I was arguing with United fans today that they were telling me Paul Pogba has done more for Man United than Harry Kane has for Spurs because we won the League Cup in Europa. We move anyway, man. I'm tired. I can't. I'm not even gonna get into that. People
that's
are
my-
mad. I don't care what no one says.
That's my
hell?
2. I don't know if I had.
We stay off Twitter, man.
Yeah, that's my 2. Do you man?
I just had to. As soon as I tweeted it, I was muted. I saw the response. I was like, yeah.
Kane, of course, and for me, Cholo as well.
Yes. How
Diego
can I
Simeone.
forget?
My
Sorry,
guy.
It's
and
innovation.
Finally,
Yeah.
finally,
Innovation.
listen.
Real men.
Wait, there's one more. There's one more. There's one more. It hurts me to do this because of his off the pitch stuff. But Luis Suarez.
Yeah.
Nah, that one's not getting standard from me.
No.
Still a racist.
No. But do you know why
We're
have
all
to?
monkeys, boy.
we have
Remember
to-
that
Hey,
picture?
I like bananas.
You know why you have to acknowledge what he's done? 11 match winners. Is it 21 goals?
Mhm.
In terms of the running, he scored the match winner. He won them the league with the goal. The game before he done it as well. They forced him out of the club, bro,
Yep.
and he went and did that. Listen,
What was it you said
as a man,
as well? That they're getting rid of a 33-year-old who they thought was washed up, only to bring in now another 33-year-old who's semi-washed up in Aguero.
Right.
It just makes no sense.
He's
It's a
won.
weird
He's
move,
won
man.
5 La Ligas in 7 seasons since he's been there. And I remember when we had the conversation when we were saying that in terms of a decade, it doesn't count anymore. But if you count from his Ajax, Liverpool, Barca, and this,
Greatest striker of his generation, mate. I said it.
how's no one giving Lewandowski champion?
Yeah,
No,
we're
we're
still
still
going
gonna
through. We're
talk
still
about-
going
finish,
through.
finish.
I just said Diego is my
Finish.
first one.
Let me
Luan
finish.
is my next one, bro.
41 goals.
41 goals. The guy's a machine, bro.
Because remember, he didn't play
What's
the
that?
games. 29.
Bundesliga tax,
Bro,
boy.
it's ridiculous. Like,
So what are you telling me?
for me, that
If he played 30, if he
that
played
is-
every game, he
He
would
would've
have scored
got
what 69 goals or something in the league.
ridiculous.
Bundesliga tax.
Listen, the goalkeepers were giving out penalties. Bro, that league is
And
ridiculous.
you know what's so
I'm seeing
But
Lars Bender get
the
3
biggest
pens.
robbery, the biggest robbery was the Ballon d'Or last year. The fact that football continued as normal after the pandemic or whatever, Lewandowski deserved that 2020 Ballon d'Or. I don't care if they give it retrospectively. Give the man his dues.
He's
bro.
not as good as
Do you know what? I've got another champ here. I've got another champ that I want to give here. And like it's just because a lot of when people are like, oh, what's that? I don't even know what they call it on FM. You know the second striker, what do they call that position?
Shadow striker.
Yeah, you know they're saying all this that positions died and everything. Do you know I'll give a lot of respect to you? Thomas Müller. Second season, he's topped the assist charts yet again, and he doesn't get spoken a lot about because
Euros recall as well.
Euros recall. Remember, they told him, "Listen, we don't want you here anymore." We said we don't want the oldies. They've had to be. Listen, bro, we got it wrong.
Yeah.
Back. That's the second season where he's got. I think he got 19 assists this season.
Last
So
year
I'm
was
after-
it 17?
Something like that.
My
Maybe
guy.
it's premature
My
saying
guy.
that he's had to reinvent himself, but that's not what he was doing before.
Yeah.
and I have to give it.
No, he's
credit.
had to.
I have to give it credit because they tried to say he's finished. But Duds,
Aguero,
quick
mate,
one,
he's
Duds,
the
quick
champ.
one, Duds. Aguero is now the top goal scorer for individual club in Premier League as well. Duds, do you have any Duds?
this week. Yes,
Yeah.
but it's fucking
Spurs, yes, Spurs.
and it's
Unanimous.
Leicester as well for actually
Yeah.
just losing the game,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm
Like,
sorry. Like, do you not remember nothing about the Battle of the Bridge? Do you, man, not know how longevity works? Now, Arsenal, watch. Next year, Arsenal will have a better year than us. Don't be surprised. One game a week. St. Tottering's Day is back, baby. We back. Duds. Absolute
man said-
duds. Bro,
We won the battle but lost the war.
bro, 100%. That's how it happened. We won the battle, but we lost the war, bro.
Listen, and on that bombshell, thank you for tuning in. If you're watching this when it's not live, make sure you subscribe and share to your friends. That is the season end in Stoppage Time TV. We'll be back shortly. 2-3 weeks, give or take.
Euro
I'm
preview.
copying
we need to do. When the hell we're
End
doing
of
the actual
review.
season review
We're gonna have to do
for the
that.
players?
We'll come back
Yeah.
soon. We'll come back
Early
soon.
years and all
We'll
that.
come back
But
soon.
listen, love for riding with us. Subscribe, notifications on. We'll be back sooner than you think.
I mean.
Actually, special thanks you to production, to our supporters, to production.
For sticking with us all season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
More
live
live season
shows.
2? Is this season 2 of Stoppage Time?
Season,
Is it
season
season 3?
2.5.
Season
But we
2.5.
don't count the half. That was
Yeah.
pre-season.
Yeah.
So season 2.
Season 2.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Migos.
Yeah, I mean,
Migos.
Culture
what
3.
Casey has
Culture
planned.
3 next season.
Listen, I'm sure we're out in a bit. Came in.